Well, this is the best opportunity for Chinese high-end auto brands to occupy the world. On March 21, Russian media reported that the former Mercedes Benz factory in Moscow is about to resume work and will produce high-end cars of Chinese brands. The plant in Moscow was sold to the holding company of the Avtodom Group following Mercedes-Benz's decision to withdraw from the Russian market at the end of October 2022. The general manager of Avtodom Subscription said that they will find a mature replacement for Mercedes-Benz. At present, traditional fuel vehicles in China are engaged in a fierce price war. At this time, it is undoubtedly a good choice for China's auto companies to go to overseas markets, and it is also the current hope of all Chinese car companies. In fact, apart from Mercedes' tragic fate in Russia, the UK had a similar fate last year. At the beginning of November 2022, on the plane of German Chancellor Scholz's visit to China, there were two figures at the helm of car companies that attracted the attention. One is the new head of Volkswagen, Oliver Blume, and the other is Oliver Zipse, chairman of the BMW Group, who is concerned about transformation. They have different corporate missions, but they all choose the Chinese market to find a way in the EV era. Herbert Diess, the former CEO of Volkswagen, once said, "Germany has seriously underestimated China's contribution to Germany's prosperity. If there is no business relationship with China, German inflation will further intensify." Ola Källenius, the CEO of Daimler, also recently stated that the German economy without China is an illusion. Yes, one of the main reasons why German companies have increased their investment in China is that the energy crisis has led to severe stagflation within Europe and high manufacturing costs. They have to look for places where they can transfer manufacturing capital, and China is undoubtedly the best investment destination. In fact, rather than transferring investments, they are fleeing to China. So, can choosing China really save the future of German car companies? Why is China the most suitable for the transformation of German car companies? Okay, that and more is exactly what we are going to talk about. Oliver Blume, who holds a PhD from Tongji University in China, has repeatedly emphasized the importance of the Chinese market to Volkswagen. While Zipse also mentioned that the bilateral relations and cooperation between China and Germany still have great potential during the visit to China, BMW is indeed intending to increase the scale of investment in China and promote the construction of a localized manufacturing system. Just a week after Zipse visited China with the team, BMW's new power battery project landed in Shenyang. According to the agreement, BMW's Shenyang production base will undergo a large-scale expansion of power battery production. The new power battery project is invested by BMW Brilliance, with a total investment of about 10 billion yuan. The importance of China to BMW and even the entire German auto industry is self-evident. From last year's data, the Chinese market contributed more than 30% of the sales share of the three major auto groups, VW, Mercedes Benz, and BMW, much higher than Toyota's 18.5% and Ford's 15.8% and South Korea's Hyundai's 8.2% and Stellantis 2.3%. The high dependence on the Chinese market has also led to a constant voice in Germany that German car companies should reduce investment in China, or even gradually decouple from the Chinese market. But this small group of voices did not stop the tide of the times after all. German companies not only did not reduce investment, but further promoted the landing of many large-scale investment projects. In addition to the BMW battery factory, the entire production line of the BMW Mini electric vehicle has also been relocated to China. Volkswagen has invested 16.8 billion yuan to jointly establish a new company with China's Horizon Robotics, focusing on technology development in the field of autonomous driving. Zeiss, a global leader in optoelectronic technology, purchased land for the first time in China to build a large-scale factory. Chemical giant BASF invested 10 billion euros in a new neopentyl glycol plant in Jiangxing, China. Germany has always been more than 90% dependent on natural gas imports, and Russian auto imports accounted for more than 65%. As a highly export-oriented economy focusing on automobile manufacturing and chemical industries, Germany is the European country most affected by the energy crisis. According to a previous research report published by S&P Global Mobility, an automotive industry research organization, due to the impact of the energy crisis, from November this year to the spring of 2023, parts shortages may have a serious impact on European automakers. In the past, the local production capacity of major European OEMs usually produced about 4 million to 4.5 million vehicles per quarter. However, with energy restrictions in place, car production could drop significantly to 2.8 million units per quarter. S&P Global Mobility believes that at least 60% of the production cuts will occur in factories in Germany, followed by German automakers' production bases in the Czech Republic. Not only that, German upstream component suppliers are also experiencing a cold winter. On the one hand, inflation remains high and the energy crisis has not been resolved, and on the other hand, Chinese suppliers continue to bring price pressure in the field of EVs. Major European suppliers are somewhat overwhelmed, and profit margins remain low. Stefan Hartung, CEO of Bosch, said that as the inflation rate in Europe continues to hit record highs, it also means that the company must rapidly increase revenue in order to maintain the expected profit margin of 4% in 2022, which is basically the same as last year. Even so, Bosch's profit margins will be well below target. One of the big problems is that automobile manufacturing companies such as BMW and Volkswagen may be able to ensure their profit margins by adjusting product structure and optimizing the industrial chain. However, supply chain giants of this scale like Bosch are highly dependent on the scale effect of production. Once the downstream demand shrinks significantly, corporate profits decline, R&D manufacturing will inevitably encounter impact. Product competitiveness will naturally be weakened to some extent. China has a huge market space, a stable supporting supply chain, and a complete manufacturing system. There are almost everything a German company wants. In 2022, China's new energy vehicle market will reach 5.225 million units, a year-on-year increase of 47.2%. It can be seen that in the era of electrification, China's new energy vehicles not only occupy more than half of the global market share, but also lead the rest of the world in terms of the transformation rates of electrification. In addition, in the first 8 months of this year, among the top 10 companies with installed power batteries in the world, Chinese companies including CATL and BYD accounted for 6 seats, with a total market share of 43.8%. The chief executive of lithium mining company Vulcan Energy said, "There are many foundations that need to be filled, and China is already several steps ahead." Facing the rigid market rules in Europe, no matter how German companies commemorate the glory of the traditional fuel car era, they have to quickly keep up with the pace of the times with China as the core. For a long time before, the product definition of automobile brands was usually dominated by countries such as Europe, America, and Japan. They used decades or hundreds of years of experience to predict user needs and define the next generation of products. But in China's smart electric vehicle market, these auto brands have encountered unprecedented challenges. The core is that user needs have undergone earth-shaking changes, and the original industry experience and operating rules are rapidly becoming invalid. German companies have fled to China. In addition to focusing on market resources and industrial chain advantages, they have also virtually erected a watchtower in the Chinese market, keeping an eye on every move of Chinese competitors in the center of global electrification. Notably, a recent report suggested that around 200,000 Chinese-branded vehicles may be sold in Europe this year, of which around 90,000 will be battery electric vehicles and 40,000 will be plug-in hybrids. At the same time, major brands will export about 100,000 battery electric vehicles from Chinese factories to Europe. Well, it is so different from 10 years ago, when Chinese independent brands entered the European market, most of them could only end in failure. Now, with the advantages of electric vehicles, Chinese domestic brands are quickly finding and strengthening their foothold in Europe. Okay, that's all for today. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.